6 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. It's Thursday, July 4th, 2019, 53 degrees outside. Happy New Year, everyone. We're glad to be here with you on this Independence Day, July 4th, 2019. Whoever thought we'd make it this far, but here we are.
Wow, that's right.
Shane Tobin on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Half man, half amazing, half American, half patriotic. Well, fully patriotic, I guess.
Fully patriotic.
100%.
Educated American.
That's right. That's right. The benefit of an American education, but Canadian for who knows why. Who wants to live in a socialist country where your dollar's worth 30 cents less?
Well, what can I say?
And you pay $8 for gas.
I can't afford the money to become an American citizen. It's too expensive. It's not cheap.
It's not cheap to be an American. That's true.
No, to become an American.
To become an American. Oh, is there a fee? I didn't know there was a fee for it. Yeah.
Oh, that's like $15,000.
Really? You got to pay $15,000 to be a citizen? Become
a citizen, yeah. To go through the process, it's about a 6-year process.
Yeah.
All your secret services have to check out.
Oh, that's right. They got to check you out. Yeah, make sure you're not Canadian.
Yeah, there's no liability.
Yeah, right. Make sure you don't owe a bunch of contractors in Dubai for your hotels.
That's right. Well, hey, the U.S. will stop people from Canada from entering the U.S. at the border if they've gotten a DWI up here.
Wow. Holy
Oh,
smokes.
Yeah, you're tough to get in. It's incredible how tough legally it is to get into your country. It's
really?
Not easy. Yeah.
Well, have you tried the southern border?
Well,
you take a boat down to Juarez. Well, you don't dock at Juarez, but you take a boat down to Baja, and then if you can get through the cartels over to the mainland,
that's right.
you can. Then you can just walk across. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I've gone to Mexico a dozen times, and wherever you land, it's a dopey little airport. I mean, really, we're talking.
Yeah, let's go to Mexico City or somewhere, probably.
Yeah. It could blow away in a storm.
Yeah, right.
And so, and the cement walls are like 100 years old.
I was going to say, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I was going to say, you got a couple mobile homes there to buy your ticket, and that's about it.
Yeah, and you always put 1 million pesos in your passport, when you hand it to them.
Yeah. I remember flying out of Las Vegas years ago when it was a mobile home. You went in to wait for your plane before McLaren was even built.
McLaren, yeah.
Not much there.
A beautiful airport. McLaren's a beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great airport. Yeah.
Well organized.
Oh, it is. Yeah. 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 Denver's the pits, and Minneapolis isn't too bad, but.
Minneapolis, the other one, Chicago is really amazing considering it's the biggest hub.
Well, OHare's nothing you want to go through very often, but.
Yeah, OHare. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. OHare in Chicago, right?
Yeah, but it's.
The worst is, what is it on Manhattan Island, on Long Island?
Oh, LaGuardia?
LaGuardia. Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
what a night. I mean, it's as small as the runways trying to get through that airport.
I know, it's pretty, and it don't smell too good either.
No, it doesn't. And when you're waiting at the gate, to get on the plane, you can see the runway, and it's like this is more like an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
I mean, when you can see the end of the runway.
I was going to say, yeah, and then about 10 feet beyond is a 40-story building. Am I going to get off of that thing?
I should have taken a helicopter.
If I'm going to get over that thing, I don't know. Well, anyway, let's get on with the Gallant Valley weather. Hey, on your Independence Day, we got a chance of rain before 9 this morning. It was raining a little bit drizzly when I came in this morning, so expect some rain up till at least 9. And but it won't rain out our parade today, so don't worry about that. So
I hope not.
I mean, yeah, we don't have weather on our parade days, no matter when we have them.
Isn't there a song, "Don't Rain on My Parade"?
That's right. Yeah. Well, we'll have a chance of showers and thunder showers between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., and then showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm after 5 p.m. So if you're out there firing off fireworks, you may be getting wet. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny most of the day with a high near 66, and winds will be fairly calm, so sparks shouldn't be too much of an issue, but anyway, chance of precip 60%. New rainfall amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch. So expect higher amounts possible during thunderstorms. So be careful out there with your fireworks and things. You'll have probably a better chance of shooting them off on Friday because it's going to be mostly sunny, less than a 25% chance of rain all day and all night. And 72 will be the high, 50 the overnight low, so it'll be a little more comfortable than our 47 low overnight on today. Saturday, mostly sunny, 79, 52 will be the overnight low, virtually no rain in there. And Sunday, 80 degrees and 52, partly cloudy, very little rain in the forecast, less than a 25% chance in the evening. And then on Monday, 72 will be the high, and thunderstorms move back in with about 1/3 of an inch of rain, and that'll boost it back up to around a 50% chance of rain in the evening. So that's your kind of forecast for the week. The rest of the week, 72, 78, 80, 80, 79, and 81, and mostly sunny and mostly cloudy all week long. So starting on Wednesday, it starts looking pretty nice. Rain non-existent and warm temperatures above 75 all those days. So enjoy it. Yeah, pretty nice.
There you go.
Yeah. Our poll question of the day, what does the 4th of July mean to you? That's our poll question of the day. And so get over to KMMSAM.com or your app, AM 1450 KMMS, and vote. What does America mean to you? What does July 4th mean to you, I should say? Not America, but I mean, you can answer what America means to you if you want to. It's a free country. Come on.
Just try and pay attention, okay?
That's right. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm working a holiday. What can I say? I'm not used to this.
That's right.
Well, obviously on this day in history, the United States celebrated its founding in 1776. The Continental Congress adopted the Declaration of Independence. Actually, it was a couple days before that, I believe, but
yes, it was. Yeah.
They signed it. Thomas Jefferson was running all over Washington trying to get people to sign it before they left for the July 4th weekend.
That's right.
Yeah, so so they were all off because it was a holiday.
That's right.
Yeah,
it was a big holiday.
It was a big holiday on July 4th in 1776.
So we're going to talk about what happened to the men that signed the Declaration of Independence at some time point around maybe 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock hour, yeah.
Who actually signed the Declaration of Independence, because it's something important for everyone to know.
Yes, it is. It is important, yeah.
It really is, yeah.
Well, on this date in 1802, the U.S. Military Academy opened at West Point, New York, and quite a significant group of people have come out of that institution.
Indeed, yeah. It's incredible when you realize, as you say, the academic staff is around 580. They have about 4,000, just over 4,000 cadets.
Yeah. And,
it's a very big area, actually. It's 16,000 acres. And they play in the NCAA Division I. And they have had some rather successful people leave that honored, scholarship there. And their motto is duty, honor, and country. Mm-hmm. And, of course, MacArthur and President Eisenhower, Patton. Mm-hmm. I mean, the list goes on. Robert E. Lee, General Grant. I mean, it's it's incredible the number of people and foreign people too that actually have gone there. Rommel spent a year at the institution, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
German general during World War II.
yeah, yeah, the military general for World War II that ran the Africa Corps for the Germans. Yeah, so huge success. Everyone that graduates comes out as a lieutenant and immediately joins the
military
as an officer, commissioned officer.
Right.
And,
yeah.
A lot. I imagine you had non-commissioned officers too when you were in the military. Right?
I was a non-commissioned officer because I was a Sergeant E5.
Well, you wore sergeant stripes?
I was 3 up and.
No kidding. Well, extra pay for you.
Well, for a short time, they bribed me with sergeant stripes to get me to stay in the military. But since we were at war, I thought, hey, I survived Nam once. I don't think I want to go back again.
Yeah. Now you're throwing the dice, right?
Yeah, I'm throwing the dice. Yeah. So, yeah, I got to be a sergeant maybe for about a month before I left. So.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, it's incredible because, like in World War II, those guys flying the bombers over Europe, 1 in 10 planes went down every night.
Oh yeah.
And the President Bush, his Navy group that he worked with, like 1 in 5 would be shot down on the mission. That's like playing Russian roulette with a 5-shooter.
Oh yeah, his dad was shot down actually. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, in 1804, author Nathaniel Hawthorne was born in Salem, Massachusetts. Famous for writing what?
The Scarlet Letter.
Yeah, that's one.
Twice Told Tales.
Yeah.
And The House of the Seven Gables.
Ooh, some big books. For the time.
The Scarlet Letter was probably the most success.
Yeah, we had to read the Scarlet Letter in high school. Yeah, we read it in high school. I think we had to.
And tell everybody what it is.
It's Prim. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's adultery.
That's right. The A.
Yeah, the Scarlet Letter she had to wear. Yeah.
Yeah,
Prim was, what was her first name though? Prim was her last name, I think.
I can't remember, but they branded it on their forehead, the A, as an adulteress.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not happy times.
Well, it was not.
Okay, so now we get to run into the slew of presidents, which I discovered there were 4.
Yeah.
James Monroe was one who died on the 4th of July, President of the United States.
Yeah.
July 4th, 1831. The amazing thing
okay?
is, no, I'm my allergies. Sorry, folks. The amazing thing was 2 of the hardest knocks guys in the colonies and founding fathers, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, both died on July 4th, 1826, on the 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
Wow, there you go.
And a horse rider rode into Massachusetts, Boston, to John Adams to try and tell him before he died that Thomas Jefferson had died, but he had already passed, and John Adams' last words were, Did Thomas Jefferson die first? They were like to the very end. They didn't like.
They're always in it was Hester Prynne.
Yeah,
in the Scarlet Letter.
Calvin Coolidge. He was one of these lucky guys born on the 4th, July 4th, 1872.
All right. Yeah. Well, in 1831, James Monroe, the 5th president, died at the age of 73 in New York City, of course. And 1845, American writer Henry David Thoreau began a 2-year experiment in simple living at Walden Pond near Concord. And I've got to take a break because we're behind, and we've got a long one with the Montana News and Agriculture. So I got to watch my time a little better here. So
it's the 4th of July.
It's the 4th of July. We'll be right back. 25 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m. It's Thursday, July 4th, 2019. Happy Independence Day, everyone. And it is 53 degrees outside. Shane and Tobin, half man, half amazing on the line. Tom Eagle, your morning mayor. And this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. We're doing this day in history. And in 1958, help me out with the pronunciation of this last name, Shane.
All right.
Carroll What?
Oh, you're talking about the Pope John Paul II.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I gotta get. Where am I here? Wow. Wow. Yeah, it's Wyatt Tylo.
No, it isn't.
No, Wyatola. Wyatola? No.
No.
All
No.
right, someone will call and tell us.
Yeah, I know. I tried. I looked it up phonetically. I looked it up phonetically. It's something like Vichelina or something like that. I don't know. It's Polish. So yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Few people
No.
change the world. I mean, literally change the world.
Yeah.
And
he was one of them. He was one of them. Yeah.
This is one man that changed. You always wonder if things are destined, and then this guy comes along and he changes whatever everybody thought was destiny. Because going to Poland and as Pope and starting that whole process was like the proverbial hole in the dam, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even though a lot of people claim that Russia was coming apart at the seams and bankrupt and mismanaged everything like that, and that Star Wars under Reagan bankrupted their defense, industrial complex. But it was this guy individually, with his belief and faith. My goodness, he moved the world away from communism in Europe and freed, 200 million people. It's just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty impressive. So,
yeah.
Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you're on the soapbox? Maybe not. Okay, maybe you're not on the soapbox. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought they were texting instead. So.
That's right.
Dial the wrong number for the text. So. Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, I'm pretty sure it's why I told her.
Okay, well, whatever. 1966, President Lyndon Johnson signed the Freedom of Information Act into law.
Well, yeah, and it's pretty. Well, what's this?
Yeah, they called again, but yeah, never mind. Okay.
It's interesting. July 4th, 1966, he signed it, and the Freedom of Information Act was credited with being developed by Ralph Nader, who at the time, you and I would remember him. He was, after the car industry for safety.
Yeah.
And he's the one who got seatbelts, because remember that there weren't seatbelts in cars when you and I were kids in the early 60s.
Thankfully, it would have made life much more difficult at the drive-in, the seatbelts. So.
Exactly. And so Bill Clinton on the 2nd of October, 1996, enhanced it to the Electronic Freedom of Information Act. So there you go.
All right, hang on. We're going to try this phone call one more time, Shane, so you can check it out and see if they're actually really there. Hang on. Welcome back, everyone. 23 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Thursday, July 4th, 2019, 53 degrees outside. Shane Matabin on the line in Vancouver, British Columbia, has a caller on the phone. So let's go to the phones. No, we don't go to the phones. Okay. All right. We're not going to the phones. Is that right?
We are going to the phone.
We are going to the phones. What are you waving at?
I'm just waving because you said I'm from Vancouver. I always wave when you say I'm from Vancouver.
Oh, okay. Well, why?
To say hello to you, because we're on Skype.
We said hello. We said hello a half hour ago. Come on.
I know. Okay.
Stop waving. Stop waving. Give me a thumbs up or something instead of a wave. Give me the thumbs up. Thank you. Don't wave the thumb.
You're too much fun.
Let's go. Caller, thanks for waiting through all that. You're on the air. What's going on?
How you doing, Tom?
Good.
Happy 4th of July, man.
Well, thank you very much. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's the birthday of the nation, right?
Amen.
And it's a great nation. Even back then, even when it was founded, it was a great nation.
I'll agree with that. Nothing like it before or since.
No, there really hasn't been. And people can talk about the Roman Empire all they want, but it was a totally different time. The life expectancy was nowhere near the same. The wealth disparity was quite a bit. I mean, this is just the best time in world history to be alive in the best country, and that is without a doubt.
You're winning a life's lottery if you're born here. You
do, and you had a caller yesterday that was kind of disparaging the nation because of its sins. Talking about he was raised in a town that people there weren't very happy about this, that, and the other thing, and how the country was founded and how it's organized. And I think it's kind of odd when you look at how society works. You always have people that are never quite content with what's going on at the time, right? And they do their best to elevate society above where it's at, and it's incremental steps. You can't just change everything all at once and expect to maintain any consistency or any type of country at all. And there were people like Daniel R. Peterson back in the 1700s that saw things that were wrong and wanted to do things about it. Those are called the Founding Fathers, and they engaged in some slavery, which none of them felt it was right, and we know that because when they died, they tried to rectify their personal issues with it. But you can't really judge that society in that time because, we weren't there. You know what I mean? There's nobody alive today that was alive back then that can say they can defend that time period and the value of human life and this, that, and the other thing. So we live in a different time period. We're far more advanced, and we're trying to look back on society that they didn't have plastic. They didn't have. They couldn't even comprehend what's going on today. And I just think that Daniel R. Peterson might want to take a step back and forgive this country for the things that its ills, its warts, and look at all the good things that it's done in the world, and maybe focus on that today. And I think we all should. This is a great country, and it's provided people with a lot of freedom and liberty that never existed prior. So, and I don't know if it's ever going to exist to this extent in the future going forward. It looks like we're kind of going back towards a totalitarian state, but what a great time to be alive, and God bless America. That's all I want to say, man.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July.
Well made, or well said, I should say. The great thing about America, I think, is it's self-correcting. It abolished slavery, gave the women the right to vote, and gay marriage and the whole 9 yards, whether or not you agree with all those things or not. But America does have a tendency to try its best to right its wrongs. And, it's not always successful in every case, but at least we're trying something.
Well, like we say, it's the rule of the majority, but rights of the minority. And the legislative and executive branch do what the majority say, and the your judicial branch protects the minorities from anything wrong or unfair.
Yeah, we have checks and balances, and that's right. Well, and to the caller's credit too, back in the day, you have to remember that this was a country that was taking baby steps. We'd come from England and other countries in Europe where pretty much it was rule. We had state churches and, the Church of England and all of that. And we thought, gee, what would a country be like if we had freedom of speech and freedom to bear arms and freedom of religion or from religion and, all these things, the right to privacy, all of those things were really an experiment. And when you look at the Bill of Rights and when you look at the Constitution, what a miracle document it is.
It is.
It'll fit in your back pocket, not like the laws we have today. But, you can stick the Constitution in your back pocket and carry it with you wherever you go. So, yeah, you got one right there. So,
and 300 years in the making, 1492, the New World was discovered. And December 15th, 1791, 299 years later, the U.S. Constitution and Bill of Rights was ratified.
Yeah,
so,
and if something is determined unconstitutional by the courts, it's not a law that's going to affect you. So, it's got to be rewritten to where it is constitutionally acceptable. So, With that said, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be right back right after this. Oh, yeah, celebrate good times. Thursday, July 4th, 2019. Happy Independence Day, everyone. 53 degrees outside, 14 minutes for the top of the hour. Shane Matobin on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. And we've got, from our text line, Shane, 478-8298, regarding Pope John II. We need another like him to help help turn the tide of communism and socialism in the United States. I'm certain there are a number of people that live on other countries that would be thrilled to trade places with Daniel R. They would.
There you go.
They would think they won the lottery. There you go. Yeah, that'll work. So there you go. Yeah, I would agree with that. As I said, I think if you're lucky enough to be born in the United States, man, you have won the life's lottery. Amen.
That's true.
And,
now, folks, it's important to know the first published version of the Declaration of Independence was called the Dunlop Broadside. The only names on that version were Congress President John Hancock and Secretary Charles Thompson. The public did not learn who signed the engrossed copy until January 18, 1777, when Congress ordered an authentic copy. It's called the Goddard Broadside. And that was the first Declaration of Independence that listed all the signers. Very interesting piece of history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that the one that's in Washington, D.C.?
That's the one I've seen, in the Treasury Department. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's in the Hall of...
It's in the Hall of Records, isn't it, or the library?
Yeah, the Hall of Records. Yeah, it's a building onto its own. Yeah, it's got
it's got the Constitution there and the Declaration of Independence and all of that.
All kinds of treaties from World War I and World War II. Yeah.
Got all the memorabilia there. So pretty good deal. Let's see. Obviously on this day, a lot of people are, I forget how many, Shane, are becoming naturalized citizens today. Obviously, it's a big day to do that, and there's several thousand people around the country. Many of them are going to be done at the parade with President Trump today. They're going to sign in and take the oath there to become American citizens. And we have one in Montana as well. Came here from Australia. And met a guy from America in, of all places, Canada. and they met each other and corresponded for a while and eventually got married. But she didn't like the Montana winter, so he got a visa to go to Australia. But eventually they came back here. Montana won out, and as it always does, of course. It's the last best place on earth.
It is indeed.
As I said, I if my parents were still alive, I'd slap them for not having me born in Montana, because obviously I was misplaced being born in that S-hole of Illinois.
Well, you're living your dream now, buddy. You're living your dream.
I am living my dream now for the past 26 years I've been here, and have never looked back. Yeah. So it's been a dream for me to live here. And a lot of great things have happened to me. Great people I've met, obviously, and it's just it's an amazing place. The wife and I appreciate Montana so much, and of course we moved here from California, but I sure didn't bring anything from California with me.
Well, you brought your wife.
I brought my wife and a couple of dogs.
And a couple of dogs.
Yeah, and that was it. And but. Man, as soon as we crossed that California line, said, goodbye, baby. Nothing there is coming here. So
hope not.
Well, we hope not, but I don't know. Sometimes our city commission makes me wonder if I'm back in California with all the parks and all the things we got to do and bike lanes and everything else. I'm still amazed they turned down being a sanctuary city, but that's a whole nother thing. But I'm glad they did. That would be pretty stupid, I think, of us to do that. So whatever. So, hey, I need to remind you, don't forget about our KMMS app, AM 1450 KMMS. You can listen to us anytime you want. You can get all the news and the weather and all of the stuff that's going on around our listening area here in Belgrade and Bozeman and Three Forks, Manhattan, Livingston, Checkerboard, you name it, wherever you happen to be. We've got stuff on the on our KMMS app that will keep you up to speed on what's going on around the area. We got roundabouts coming. You'd find that out over at KMMSAM.com or AM 1450 KMMS and all sorts of things. Mike Cooney is running for governor, so that would be over there as well. And there's interviews. There's all kinds of stuff there. And you can also use the app chat to chat with us. Right next to the listen button, you'll see app chat. Just hit that. Type in your comment, and boom, it's right here. You never have to worry about dialing a number or thinking, going to speed dial or anything like that. All you got to do is go to the app chat right next to the listen button on AM 1450 KMMS, and boom, we get your message.
And the word of the day, download, download, download.
Download, yes, we are. Let me look where we are, Shane. It's pretty amazing on our downloads. We record all of our shows, of course, and you can get them all at KMMSAM.com and everywhere else. We went over 1,000 on Sunday, Shane. And what is this? 3 days later, 3 24-hour periods from then?
Yep.
We're at 1,039.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing for 179 episodes that we have. So
we're on our way to 2,000.
Yeah. You also brought your want for California weather temperatures with you from our text line. No, I didn't. I love snow. I'm a winter guy. I'm not a summer guy. I'm a winter guy. I don't like rain, but no, I'm a winter guy. I'm not the summer type.
Did you have a snowblower to prove it?
I got a snowblower and a snow shovel, and I'm covered on both ends.
There you go.
Yeah, I got the snowblower. I got the whole 9 yards, man. So I'm ready to go. But I'm a winter guy. I like the snow. So there you are.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Well, actually, the good thing about Montana is that just about the time you get sick of snow and cold and everything else, it gets warm. And then every time I'm tired of these 90-degree days and all of that, then along comes the first snow. So our seasons, I think, work out pretty well. Just about the time you're done with it, the good one comes, or the one you like. The other one comes.
That's right. In the miracle of water, you see it in liquid form in rain, and you see it in solid form in snow, and you see it as humidity, a gas. So how wonderful is that to enjoy?
So, yeah. I don't mind a 70-degree day once in a while, but I also, I came to work in 25 below weather, and that's fun to talk about too. How friggin' cold is that?
I don't know. That's if you get there.
Remember that? Well, the last 2 times I've filled in here, I've had 25 below coming in here, so that's pretty nippy out there. So you don't want to stay out very long. All right. Well, enough of me and the weather. We got to take another break, and we'll be right back. 4 minutes before the top of the hour, coming up at 7 o'clock, Shane is going to go through the signers of the Declaration of Independence and talk a little bit about who they were and what happened to them and all of that kind of stuff. So, Shane, we'll be happy to hear all of that. Yeah. Should be pretty interesting because it's quite a story what happened to all these folks.
It is.
And who signed it and all of that and who they were and why they were there and why they signed it and all the things that kind of happened to them as they were going through that time in history. So quite a time in our history. As I said, Pilgrims came in 1620, and then, we kind of went from there. So,
yeah, it's just like I was saying in the last block. When you think about it, it's a remarkable accomplishment in 300 years, right? So, wow.
Yeah, when you look at the 5,000 years before, I mean, very, very little innovation at all, and mostly it was because people didn't have the freedom to follow their dreams.
Yes.
Until America came along, and then a lot of other people said, well, gee, if Americans do it, we can do it over here. And, so there became innovation across Europe and many areas of the world. But, it wasn't until, it was like the 4-minute mile. As soon as Roger Bannister ran the 4-minute mile, people thought that was impossible, and then all of a sudden everybody started running a 4-minute mile. Or the first guy climbed the top of Everest. Now Sunday climbers do it.
Yeah, I know.
And die on the way down or up, whatever. So, yeah, it's pretty not exactly what you want to do on a Sunday afternoon is climb Everest. So,
yeah, well, and of course they've turned now, Mount Everest into a junkyard. I mean, it's a dump.
Sure.
Dump of air canisters, right, mostly.
But I mean, innovation and things take time. People are talking about, we got to get rid of fossil fuels. Well, eventually we will. Alternative fuels will come, but they'll come in their own good time. Just like we evolved from the horse and buggy to the automobile. But, as I've said many times, we couldn't have sped up the evolution of the automobile by shooting all the horses. It wouldn't have forced us to, get heated cup holders and, warm seats. So
yeah, and that's the other thing too, just the technology around cars and how they've evolved.
Well, how they're made. All of that changed so that they could make more cars faster and put more things in them that people wanted, and even people didn't know they wanted heated cup holders or heated seats or air conditioning or whatever. FM radio or CD players or Sirius radio or XM radio or whatever, so it's been, you look at everything, even in our homes, the innovation of washers and dryers, dishwashers,
everything, ovens, microwaves.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All those things. Who knew you needed a microwave until somebody said, hey, these, I put this thing next to this thing and my coffee got hot.
Yeah.
I'm going, maybe there's a market for that, huh? What do you think?
Well, and one of the most we talked about is drywall. I mean, how it changed the construction industry of, single family homes and everything.
Sure.
It's everything.
But just incredible. The freedom. As I've said many times, I can't imagine what China would do if they had the freedoms that we have. What in math and medicine and technology, and I would be amazed at what they could produce if they had the freedom to do it that we do.
Well, you just have to look at Taiwan. What they've accomplished. It's a perfect example.
Well, that Hong Kong too. A lot of areas over there. Yeah.
And here it's amazing too, because here we are celebrating it, and look what Hong Kong's having to do with demonstrations.
Amen to that. All right, we'll be back right after this. 6 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It's Thursday, July 4th, 2019, 54 degrees outside. A little housekeeping note. Highland Boulevard is now open. It was blocked off at the bottom while they did some work on Main and Highland on the north end of Highland Boulevard. That is now open, so you can, if you have to go to the hospital either way, you can now get there, believe it or not. So, Shane Talbot on the line with me. Tom Eaglehoff, your morning mayor, KMMS Morning Soapbox. We got a caller patiently waiting, so caller, you are on. What's up?
So, happy 4th, guys.
Thank you.
So, overall, I really appreciate the job that President Trump has done. But this show of force, this grandstanding with this big pomp and circumstance with the military for our 4th of July celebration in Washington, I just don't get, and I wish he would have done something differently. First of all, I haven't seen it yet, but just hearing about it brings images of dictator countries like China, Russia, doing that kind of show of force with the military. I am very, very thankful that President Trump has strengthened our military, because I do believe in a strong military, that we do need that. But he could have done something so differently. I mean, he could have brought to Washington Purple Heart recipients, Medal of Honor recipients, could have had the chiefs of staff ride in a parade. But this thing with tanks, a flyover is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But tanks and helicopters and all that. And besides that, $2 million plus he's taken from the Park Service. we really appreciate our national parks, and I'm sure many people in Montana do as well, because we've got two of the best right here in our, just to the south of us, and then Glacier. And although, Tom, I can't believe you've never been to Yellowstone. That's
I know,
a travesty.
26 years I've been here, and I've been to the gate several times, but never gone in.
Yeah, that doesn't exactly count.
Well,
Okay,
maybe this summer will be my summer. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to go finally and see what all the hoopla's about.
I would suggest not going in the summer, because that's when it's
busiest. Yeah, it's busiest. Yeah, maybe the fall. Maybe I'll go in the fall.
Yeah, after Labor Day, before Memorial Day, and in the spring.
Yeah.
But the Park Service needs the funds.
That's right.
And there's so many useless Democrat.
Should I buy the lifetime pass, since I've never been there?
Well, actually, I'm not sure of your age, but at a certain age, I think you.
I'm 75. I'm 75.
Okay, well, I think you can get in free. You can get a free lifetime pass at your age, I believe.
Well, I'm bagging the show right now, and I'm going.
Okay, but anyway,
I'll just repeat Ingata Davida for next 2 hours.
Or you can just leave me on and let me talk.
Well, that's true. I could do that. I could just leave Shane here. Yeah, Shane could just be here.
There you go.
Thing runs pretty much.
Not going to happen.
It runs almost automatic anyway. Are you going to come and see us on the 26th?
We might.
Yeah.
But what is Trump's end game with this?
I think so many politicians in currently right now are making excuses for America that we're a terrible country. We got concentration camps on the border, and I think this is his other side of the coin. That we are an exceptional country. And I think that's what he's trying to show. And I agree with you. I think we may be going a little overboard, although Kennedy and other presidents have had missiles and tanks and, show of military hardware in their inaugurations in the past. But, when Kennedy did it, the World War II was only 20 years before that.
Yeah.
So even less than 20 years before that. So, I tend to agree with you. I don't see the need for certainly tanks on, the Lincoln Memorial, but,
I just got to wonder what the end.
I think it's totally unfair, and I'll tell you why. You go to air shows, and they have all the military jets that you can walk around, look at, and see. And there's only 4 Abram A1 tanks on the ball, and it's just for kids. They're locked up. They're welded shut, and it's just for kids to see what a tank looks like. And there's only two troop transports. What do they call it, Tom? Sherman transports. That they carry troops in, and that's all. The press, of course, is overblowing this completely. The Americans are going to spend over $1 billion today on fireworks across your country, and what they're spending in New York or in Washington is nothing. Normally, during the course of the celebrations, the costs are well over $1 million for what you watch every year from the Capitol in Washington. So, yeah, I just think he wants to express his love of the country and how great the country is, and tell Americans they're great, they're doing fine. And for the media like the New York Times to come out with a video saying your country isn't that great, and for all these Democrats coming out and insulting your country, I just think it's very sad, considering the success and wonder that your country's fulfilled in the short time it's been around.
Regardless of, it's just more fodder for his critics,
Mm-hmm. Well, it is. Yeah, it is. And I think that's what he's trying to do, is bring attention. Yeah. He is sucking the oxygen out of the room again on this holiday. And nobody's talking about concentration camps. Nobody's talking about the children dying. Nobody's talking about drinking out of toilets. They're all talking about Trump having tanks on the thing. And so, once again, right or wrong, he has, as I say, sucked all the oxygen out of the room, and that's where everybody's going to be, and they're going to be seeing what he says in his speech coming up later in the morning.
And
Yeah,
the hypocrisy of this, the Democrats and all these people complaining about this, the Democrats running for president, they're saying he's politicizing the 4th of July. Well, guess where all 20 of them are today? They're in Iowa at political picnics, okay? They're in parades. They're politicizing the 4th of July. So, here they are out, trying to garner support for, the Iowa caucus, which is the first in your nation. And that's politicizing the 4th of July as well. So, I mean, come on, people. Let's be sincere about your complaints and be, and be fair about it. Don't just do it to get a soundbite because you're trying to get, more attention running for president.
Again, I think it's just more fodder for his critics. And, we want to try to bring in to the, I think his base is already pretty solidified, but we want to bring in those that are kind of on the fence, like, oh, Trump, maybe not, why do something so extravagant? Again, I wish you would have, like you said, brought Medal of Honor recipients, Purple Heart recipients, had a smaller parade. I guess I'm too young to remember the military show that Kennedy did. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But and again, it just reminds me of dictatorships. But and he could have shown his appreciation for the country and how he's proud of being an American and most of us are, in such a different way by honoring veterans that have fought and given so much for the country. But for the most part, my husband and I, we totally support Trump and the things that he's done, despite the tidal wave of opposition. We appreciate him very much as a president and things that he's done, protecting our border, wanting to protect the life that's even unborn. But this is one time was like, I wish you had done something differently.
Well, see, you're not a total Kool-Aid drinker. That's the proof right there.
I'm not totally brainwashed.
That's right. Hey, thanks a lot for the call. I hope you can join us on the 26th.
Hey, happy 4th, guys.
All right, happy 4th to you. Thanks a lot. From our text line, let's see. This is Trump's presidency. It's not negative Nancy's. It's not the Democrats. It's President Trump's presidency. He can have whatever damn parade he wants to have. You go, Shane. Happy 4th to you. All the best dictators have military parade. Helps compensate for a small ... There you are. Tom, you're sadly mistaken. I understand your simplified analogy of the buggy versus the car, but it's simply not true. It requires a commitment to new technologies. If the Brits can do it, why can't we? And they sent an article will explain how, for the first time ever, renewable energy sources have outpaced or on pace to be prominent use of energy in Britain. Comprehend if you can. I do comprehend that Britain is a much smaller nation than we are, and doing away with fossil fuels for 320 million people is not possible at this time. We are using more natural gas to produce electricity and more other forms of energy, but it's going to be a while before you can. If you want to talk about China, which has 1 billion people, I don't see them embracing solar and nuclear and whatever. They're building a coal plant a month over there, something like that. So, comparison of Britain and even France has got rid of their nuclear. They're getting rid of their nuclear, I believe. Shane, correct me if I'm wrong.
80% of their power is produced by 26 nuclear power plants that are now aged. So now they have to.
Now they got to do something about it. Yeah. So they're gonna have to go to somewhere. So
go.
Yeah, but all of these countries are much smaller than we are, and scale of making that happen is, I'm not saying that you're wrong, and I totally agree. Commitment to new technologies, but I am pretty sure that Exxon and everybody else is working on an alternative energy, because when oil is well, oil's not going to be gone because it's in everything we touch. So
90% of what you walk through every day has oil in it.
yeah, so we're going to be oil. So so that's going to be it. So from our text line, I believe Trump is trying to drum up patriotism for our country, opposed to the USA bashing liberals, and I would tend to agree with that. I think he is making a show of America being an exceptional nation, both militarily and in every other way. But whether, as I say, whether we need tanks and I don't know, missiles. We don't have any missiles, I don't think, on the White House lawn yet. But anyway, so
or tanks,
or tanks, yeah, or tanks. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and you're going to come back with the people that signed the Declaration of Independence and a little bit of information about them. So stay tuned. 20 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m., it's Thursday, July 4th, 2019. Happy Independence Day, everyone. 55 degrees outside. Let's see, from our text line, Sham, Dems in Iowa today are spending campaign dollars. Trump is spending tax dollars. Big difference. Well, I don't really see the difference there because he didn't take it from the school lunch programs. It's money that's already been appropriated for the parks. And far as I know, Washington, D.C. is the biggest park in the United States, or at least one of them. May not be bigger than Yellowstone. I don't know, but it's a pretty big park. So, and when you're talking about a $3 trillion budget, which $1 trillion is 1,000 billions, $2.5 million is pretty much a drop in the bucket. As far as our parks are concerned, they have a pretty good sized budget, as we all know. So
that's right.
Yeah. China has the largest solar farms in the world. Largest, well, good for them. But they're still building coal-powered plants every time you turn around. So there you go. Let's see. Trump could cure cancer, and the PC folks would find something to criticize. I would agree with that. In fact, when he mentioned in his one of his speeches about the cure for cancer, they accused him of, I'm going to cure cancer in this during my administration, which was totally wrong. So anyway, I digress, and Shane is chomping at the bit to talk about the Declaration of Independence and the 56 people who signed it. 57, I guess. So go for it.
That's
56,
right.
yeah.
First of all, Eagleman, I want to thank you for this opportunity. It's a great honor for me to have this opportunity to do this. 56 delegates eventually signed the Declaration of Independence. The president of the Congress was John Hancock from Massachusetts Bay. The New Hampshire delegation was Joshua Bartlett, William Whipple, Matthew Thornton. The Massachusetts Bay was Samuel Adams, John Adams, Robert Treat Payne, Elbridge Gerry. Rhode Island and the province plantations was Stephen Hopkins and William Ellery. Connecticut was Roger Sherman, Samuel Huntington, William Williams, Oliver Wolcott, and the group from New York was William Floyd, Philip Livingston, Francis Lewis, and Lewis Morris. And from the New Jersey, Richard Stockton, John Witherspoon, Francis Hopkinson, John Hart, Abraham Clark. Pennsylvania, Robert Morris, Benjamin Rush, Benjamin Franklin, John Morton, George Clymer, James Smith, George Taylor, James Wilson, George Ross. Delaware, Caesar Rodney, George Reed, Thomas McKean. Maryland was made up of Samuel Chase, William Paca, Thomas Stone, Charles Carroll of Carrollton, and of course we have Virginia, a great state, George Wythe, Richard Henry Lee, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Harris, Thomas Nelson Jr., Francis Lightfoot Lee, Carter Braxton, North Carolina, William Hooper, Joseph Hughes, John Penn, South Carolina, Edward Rutledge, Thomas Hayward Jr., Thomas Lynch Jr., Arthur Middleton, and Georgia Button Gwinnett, and Lyman Hall, and George Walton. Those were the 56 men that signed the independence, and wow. What happened to these gentlemen is even more staggering. Of the 56 men who signed the Declaration, were not token patriots that when they pledged their lives in honor to the cause of your freedom. The average age was 44. The youngest was 26. Benjamin Franklin was the oldest at 70. Most had money, none were hungry, and none were out of work. They actually laid their lives and fortunes on the line of freedom. This is a very important fact. Of the 56 men, 5 were arrested by the British as traitors. 12 had their homes looted and burned. 2 lost sons in the war. 17 lost their fortunes. 9 fought in the war and died. 3 of the signers lived to be over 90. 10 lived to be past 80. And 11 passed at 70. They came from all walks of life. 24 were lawyers, 14 farmers, 4 doctors, 9 merchants, and 1 minister. 3 were born in Ireland, 2 in England and Scotland, 1 was born in Wales. During the war, they were offered immunity to come back to the British cause. Not one did. One signer, George Wythe, was poisoned by his grandnephew at the age of 80. Samuel Chase became part of the Supreme Court, and Caesar Rodney died of cancer soon after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Button Gwinnett became governor of Georgia and was killed in a duel at the age of 42. Oliver Wolcott became governor of Connecticut. Thomas Lynch Jr. disappeared 3 years later with his wife on a voyage to the West Indies. Charles Carroll lived to 90 and died in 1832. He helped lay the cornerstone of Baltimore and the Ohio Railroad. So there's your great record of history of the men that signed the Declaration of Independence and what happened to them in their lives.
All right. Good job, man.
God bless America.
Amen to that. All right. Well, I don't think people realize that these folks, England wasn't happy with when they received the Declaration of Independence. They said, "Whoa, wait a minute, hold on, that's not going to work. You're not going to leave us, so we're going to take over your little East Coast there, and we're going to make that our deal."
And quite honestly, it led to the French Revolution in France, and the British thought it would happen there, and so did the other, people, or the other people, the kings and queens, I guess you could say, of Europe. They were scared of this. This was a real thing that they saw coming their way, and eventually it did, but in the form of a British parliamentarian setup, sovereign involvement still with the government.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the way it was designed anyway. And when you think about it, there were a lot of people, like there are now, on the opposing side of leaving England.
That's right.
Yeah, there were a lot of them. And it was touch and go as to whether or not this was even going to happen.
Absolutely. New York held out. As I said, they were of the 13 colonies. New York abstained in approving the declaration. But a month later, they got permission from their state convention to do so. So, I mean, it was unanimous at the end. But the phenomenal thing about it was as they stood up to what became known as the Revolutionary War, and they succeeded in that endeavor. And again, that's one of the things that I think your president wants to acknowledge, is that it was out of a revolution and war that you became an independent republic.
Yeah. Well, that would be true. So I don't know. From our text line, 478-8298, who needs parks maintained when we can have presidential tank parades? Well, I don't know. If we have presidential plane parade too, and we have a presidential military. We have a presidential Gold Star moms will be there as well.
That's right.
So let's put things in perspective. As far as the parks are concerned, they have a $12 billion backlog of repairs. So there you are. So just to be totally accurate here on what money's being spent where.
Exactly. We covered that yesterday.
Yeah, we'll make sure that everybody's aware of that. So, all right, half hour till parade time. So stay tuned. Our parade's coming up at 8:00. So
right.
You don't want to miss that because, well, our parades are legendary, of course. So if you haven't heard one, you're in for a treat. So, All right. Also, don't forget our app, AM 1450 KMMS on your smartphone. You have the listen button. You have the app chat that you can directly send an app to us or a text to us, and you can call us all from the same bar. We'll be right back. 25 minutes before the top of the hour, and Shaman Taubman on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor. And, of course, this is the fabulous and incomprehensible KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
You are the dynamic, righteous eagle man, and you get it right every time.
All right. From our text line, 478-8298, Trump must be the greatest president ever. He is turning Democrats into fiscal conservatives.
That's right.
So there you are. I like that.
Yeah.
We'll just go with that then.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is interesting that for at least today, the people at the border are totally ignored.
Isn't that amazing?
Nobody's down there. AOC isn't down there. Kamala Harris isn't down there. Cory Booker, I think, went across the border and, tried to get 3 people for asylum or something like that. I don't know what he's doing down there, but anyway. But it'll be interesting as to, everybody, of course, that's running has a comment on Trump spending $2.5 million on this parade. So,
Well, yeah, but the reason it's sad because first of all, the firework display has been donated, all right, by 2 of the greatest fireworks companies in the United States.
Yep.
This whole thing of tanks, as I said, there's 4 tanks in the mall parked, and there's going to be a couple of Sherman tanks, which were the bellwether of World War II. 68,000 were made, and there's like 7 left, that are operational, today. And so, and we see flyovers at games all the time and sporting events all the time. So, it's just very sad that they say that he's politicizing this. And like I said, where are all the guys running for president today? They're in Iowa politicizing the 4th of July at picnics. So,
yeah. Well,
they're all walking in parades in Iowa. I mean, come on, seriously.
Well, the Pentagon, they're going to spend several million on displays of tanks, aircraft, and other military hardware through the White House and Interior Department have declined to say how much the event is costing taxpayers or why Republican groups and Trump's campaign are passing out tickets to the VIP section. While Trump has touted his plans for flyovers by fighter jets and a major fireworks show, the Pentagon and military officials have not commented on the norm-breaking celebration. So this may be the forerunner of maybe this will be our normal 4th of July from now on. Who knows?
And it should be. Yeah. It's interesting because like the Joint Chiefs of Staff is going to be there, or the head of the Joint Chiefs. And the others are not. Well, of course not, because the danger that you can't have those guys all in the same place.
Well, you can't have all in the same place, and they've said they have other commitments elsewhere, and they probably do. They're probably hosting all kinds of military things that aren't at the mall. So, anyway.
Yeah, and there's a designated survivor, because everyone, with the exception, there's only 6 of the 9 justices that go to the president's, annual address to Congress every year. I mean, the president, the vice president never fly together in the same plane. I mean, there's all this protocol that exists, because of security. So it's pretty sad.
Yeah. From our text line, 478-8298, just check their bank accounts as proof of their conservatism, quite rich for all their whining.
Yeah, exactly.
If Obama had a military parade for a rally on taxpayers' expense, Republicans would be ripping him apart. Such hypocrites. Yeah, Republicans would be ripping him apart if he had done the same thing. No question about it.
It's like the Nike thing with the Betty Ross flag, and you look at the front of the Capitol on the second inauguration of Obama, and he had 4 center flags hanging of the United States, and then 2 outer flags of the Betty Ross flag, and no one said anything back then.
Yeah,
this wasn't an issue back then.
No, it wasn't.
So
So
somebody that is just trying to get attention makes a outrageous claim, and everybody sort of like jumps on it. Like, the 13 stripes on your flag are representative of the 13 colonies. So what are you going to do? Get rid of your flag now? Like,
well, yeah. I can say the 13 stars were the 13 colonies too. So
well, the
at the
original
time
star,
anyway.
yeah.
So yeah.
Now you have 50 stars.
But no, I would agree. Republicans would have gone nuts if Obama had a similar situation that Trump is doing right now. They would have, every Republican out there would have gone, apoplectic, trying to get a soundbite on the news.
Yeah.
On the news, I mean, that's just the way. That's the way this country works. I mean, whoever's in power is the target. So yeah. All right, we got to take another quick break. The parade floats are lining up. The bands are lining up. Don't forget, we'll have the Belgrade Mime Band. We'll have the Bagpipe Band from Butte, the Half in the Bagpipe Band. So, all that's coming up. So hang on. We'll be right back with more of the Morning Soapbox right after this. 17 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Thursday, July 4th, 2019, 58 degrees outside. Parade coming up in about 17, 18 minutes or so. We'll be going live to Route 10 out on Bozeman's only 8-lane highway, the only highway big enough to handle a parade of ours, of course. So that's the 882nd, I believe, Shane.
There you go.
KMMS parade. So I don't know. Been around for a long time, longer than England.
That's right.
Yeah, started back in the 1700s, or the 1200s actually, I guess, 1300s. So yeah, we've been doing these parades a long time. So should be fun. All right, let's see from our text line. Man, are you telling me there are no butterflies, rainbows, unicorns, glitter in the parade? They cost just as much. It's not fair. Well, to our listeners out there, and to Shane, of course, and to everybody else, Shane, this is going to be the first parade that we've had a text line.
That's right.
Yeah. And an app chat, as well. So, if you have any parade ideas, or if you have a float you'd like to enter, by all means, let us know your float idea, and we will get it in the parade. Because you guys have probably been working hard on your parade floats in your garage and whatever. So it's time to get them in the parade. So if you got float ideas, send them over to us at 478-8298 or on our app chat at AM 1450 KMMS on your smartphone, and we'll be happy to include those in our parade. So a lot of you out there, I'm sure, have some ideas for a Mueller float, a Bob Barr float, an anti-Trump float, whatever float. So by all means, text them over to us or send them over, and we'll get them in the parade. So let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Calling on the Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. What's up?
Well, Tom and Shane,
Hey.
on this anniversary of our independence,
Yes.
I'd like to say, just look at just how far we've come in the years since the beginning.
Yeah.
And
You were around for that, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Nowadays we have poison in our food and our water, and our medicine can possibly kill you. Your stupid phone is a military weapon used against you. If you're born with white skin, you're a racist. If you're Christian, you're persecuted almost everywhere. If you want our borders secured, you're a racist. If you're against live birth abortion, you're anti-woman, anti-choice, or anti-something.
And doesn't it amaze you? And still everyone in the world wants to come to your country.
Right. If you fly the American flag, you're a hater. We're told what words we can and cannot use in our conversations and writings. And now we have a gal by the name of Frederica Wilson, a Florida Democrat, who wants to pass a law that if you criticize Congress, you get arrested.
Well, that happens. That happens in. That happens in.
Party of war.
That happens in Canada, doesn't it, Shane? If you badmouth Trudeau, don't you? You spend some time in the pokey, don't you?
No.
Well,
No,
you were telling me you can't use certain pronouns in Canada.
That's correct. We do have hate speech law. Yes.
But you can't use certain pronouns. Yeah.
That's correct.
He and she and you and me won't work.
So it's all been turned on its head. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Give me a break. Give me a break. And go back to the wars. How many Republican presidents have we had in the wars?
Yeah.
You know, they were all Democrats, and now they're complaining that don't they want to bomb Iran right now? And they're worried about a couple tanks.
Well, yeah.
I mean, these people, you know, they need to take the Hippocratic oath. In fact, I think they've already taken the Hippocratic oath.
It's a hypocritical oath.
Yeah, well, I know what it is.
I know you know.
Thou shalt not do no harm. Yes.
Yeah, right.
But it's amazing,
yeah.
You know. And now somebody wants to have a parade. Let me tell you something. We're here because of what? War.
Yeah, pretty much. That's true.
Okay.
Well, you've survived.
That's where we came from, right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't make any difference.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and look at a map of Europe, you know, from 200 years ago, and look at a map of Europe now. You'll see it's a little different. Boundaries have changed. But yeah, tear your country down. That's what the Dem candidates are going for. Tear the place down. It's no good. It's been a failure forever. Dump it. Not me. I'm not. I'll take what I got, even though it ain't perfect. I'm here, and I ain't moving to Canada, and I ain't moving to Puerto Rico, and I certainly ain't moving to the Dominican Republic.
All right.
Where they just poison you outright. But yeah, we have a lot to be thankful for, and we ought to just do that.
Yeah.
You know, put the rhetoric and the crap down for a day. It ain't going to kill you. Anyway.
Well, thanks for cheering us up, Pete. Yeah, thanks for cheering us up.
Yeah, happy 4th of July, Pete.
As I use my my Chinese smartphone here.
Mine's Japan.
You're not going to get enough from the Chinese. It's going to benefit you.
Well, actually, I think this is a Samsung. I think it's South Korean, but whatever, you know. So, well, same thing, I guess. You know, you still got Orientals listening to you, so I guess it doesn't matter where they are.
It's still just like taping a microwave to the side of your head.
Oh, there you are.
There you go.
All right, man. Well, unfortunately, the phone does everything but make a call.
Yes.
Or answer one. All right, man.
Very good.
You have a great 4th of July. Take it easy. All right. Well, let's take we don't have to take a break. We're going right to the top of the hour because nobody sold anything today because it's a holiday.
That's right.
I guess they figured nobody'd be listening, so why bother?
That's right.
Why bother with a commercial? Well, our poll question of the day over at KMMSAM.com or on your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS is, what does 4th of July mean to you? And 62% agree it's a day to honor America and make it better. 3 have other comments, and those are freedom, celebration, and family time to celebrate the creation of the greatest country in history. And it's the day we rejoice in getting our independence from those limey bastards. So there you are. So that's where we get those. So let's see. Majority of our government officials suffer from a syndrome that Big Pharma needs to treat. PD, political dysfunction. That may be right.
Very good. That's witty.
Yeah. From our text line, 478-8298. Those on the fence about Trump, his base is rock solid. We must win in 2020. It's not about Trump having his damn parade. It's about preserving our sovereignty. I think the SOV anyway. I think that's what they probably meant. Never in my lifetime would think I'd see our country on Independence Day look like a tin pot dictatorship. So There you are.
Whoa.
Yeah. So there you go. That'll clean up our text line. And again, if you got any float ideas you want to send over to us, 478-8298, or send them on our app chat on your smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS. And you need to get the KMMS app to get the app chat. So do a search for AM 1450 KMMS, and they'll take you over there. You can download the app right on your phone and listen to us anywhere you want. Don't forget, all of our shows are recorded and online, so you can also find those at KMMSAM.com, Tom and Shane's podcast, or on the smartphone at AM 1450 KMMS. So make sure you get over there and get that app, and you'll be connected to us all the time. Anytime you want to hear KMMS, just pop it on wherever you are, and boom. It's a done deal. And also our website, KMMSAM.com, or our Facebook page, facebook.com/KMMSAM. Lots of information over there. You can comment on any of the stories that we have up, and go for it. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. So let's see, from our text line, the end game should be no socialist government in 2020. I agree with the caller that all this Trump's 4th of July extravaganza can only alienate further something in way of life. Integrity, I guess, maybe, in way of life. I'm not sure. It's EREGNTY. I'm not sure what that is. But I'll try and translate. So we'll see what that is. So anyway, so thanks for all the texts today. We're getting a lot of them. We're never sure when we do a holiday. We don't do that many of them, but we wanted to do this one because it's such an important holiday to those of us who live here, and appreciate this country as much as we do. So that's why we're here. Everybody else in the building's got a 4-day weekend. They're not here tomorrow either. XL Country's out goofing off, and Kiss is gone, and K-Sky's gone, and here we are. We're all alone in this nasty little building.
And since 1938, all federal employees get paid on the 4th of July.
Well, all right, that's a good deal. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I'm getting paid, but
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I suspect when you watch the parade today, you'll find that it's mostly pomp and circumstance. There'll be 10 of the best high school bands in the country in it. Bands from low country, Charleston, South Carolina is going to be in it. I was looking on here. It's amazing. High school bands, Benson and Maine. They're coming from all over your country to march in the parade. The parade is not going to be military. It'll be bands and all kinds of music. It'll be a great parade.
Yeah, all the bands that weren't good enough to get in our parade are going to be at the White House.
That's correct. There you go.
From our text line, 478-8298, is Canada ever going to grow a set and declare independence?
Yeah, jeez.
I know.
I think we went over that on Monday. Did we not discuss this on Monday?
I don't know. Let's take a phone call, then. We got a break for the parade. Caller, you are on the air. What's going on?
Morning, Tom and Shane. I've got four floats that did not make it in your parade.
Oh, well, they'll make it now. What are they?
The John Tester float.
The John Tester float. What would that float consist of?
Well, it's not going to happen because his chief of staff reminded him that he didn't need to pretend to be a Montanan for another 4 years.
Oh, okay. So that float's going to be absent, I guess.
Yep.
Huh? Okay. All right.
The Governor Bullock float.
Governor Bullock float. All right.
He filled out the entry form in time for the deadline, but didn't submit it to the Secretary of State in time.
Okay.
And so Corey Stapleton said that one's not an eligible entry anymore.
All right.
Yeah, the City Parks Department.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one.
They wanted to do a float, but they didn't have enough money in the budget.
Right. Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, these are good.
And then the Bozeman City Commission wanted to do a float for affordable housing.
Yeah.
But in typical liberal fashion, they talked about it, but didn't do a darn thing to take action about it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't force any of the local contractors to build the float for free.
I thought you were going to tell me they couldn't afford to do a tiny float.
That would involve getting HRDC in.
Well, that's true. We'd have to get HRDC in there, wouldn't we? So,
No, Tom, who's the marshal of the parade today? I think it's George, isn't it?
George. Who?
George, I don't know. George Washington. I don't know.
I don't know if we have a marshal or not.
Oh, you don't have a marshal? Okay.
Well, I don't know if we do or not. Maybe. If you think there should be a marshal for the parade, text us or call us or app chat us, and we'll pick a marshal. Hey, thanks for the call. That's good. Those are good ideas. Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, those were good floats. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here.
None of them are going to be in the parade, but they're good floats.
Yeah, they could have been.
They could have been in the parade if they'd get their paperwork in on time. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't know what that means. All right, we got about 3 minutes left here. Harry Kirschenbaum, my old pal from Open Range, will be in here, and Jennifer Bordy's coming, and of course Shane and myself will be here. And we'll be.
Well, there you go. Make Harry the marshal of the parade.
Well, Harry could be the marshal. Yeah, Harry could be the grand marshal.
That'd be terrific. Yeah. An honorary marshal today. Good job.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll talk to him, see if he wants to accept that responsibility. You know, that's a big job, and there he is now as we speak. Harry, you want to be the grand marshal? Harry just woke up, so he's not operating yet. So, Jennifer and Harry are in the house. Glad to have you guys along with us. How you doing, guys? What's going on?
Yeah. Good, but today I'm Dick, so that I'm with Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Tom, Shane, and Harry. Yeah, that's going to be a mess. Let's take a quick phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you on the air with Tom and Shane and Jennifer and Harry. What's up?
Hey, there's not really going to be a float, but we do need to have it, and we are telling we're going to be behind the rest of y'all.
Okay.
We got to clean it. Yeah, we're sponsored by Trump. And it's going to be, we got to clean up all the crap that people leave behind, that people have left behind. So we are cleaning it up. It is for the best of each and every one of you. And the Blue Angels are just perfectly cool because we love the flyovers. And you know what? We used to have flyovers when I was a kid because we lived up by Moffett Field out in Moffett Field. Well, it's behind enemy lines right now. Let's just say that.
Okay.
And I don't want to mention that state's name. And but it was different back in those days. And so the Blue Angels were basically practiced out of there a lot, and on a daily basis we had flyovers from them. I don't know what all the whining and crying is about Trump's doing this and Trump's doing that, and there's we're spending this money, and we just got to repair the streets, and all that.
There's always a wine with cheese, you know.
Well, you know, I guess what was that thing that Pete said? You know, if you got your cell phone, you got the microwave, so you can be melting that cheese.
That's right.
We'll clean that up too, though. Don't worry about it.
All right, man. I gotta go. Hey, thanks for the call.
If you want to have dirty streets, enjoy it.
All right,
Bye.
Take it easy. All right. Well, we got the big foursome here, so we're ready to rock and roll with the big parade, and we'll be back and doing that shortly. So Shane and Tom and Jennifer and Harry will be back right after the news at the top of the hour, so stay tuned.
Helps if you turn the microphone on.
It does, yeah. Welcome, everyone, to the 882nd AM 1450 4th of July Parade. We're at Salmonella's Fine Italian Dining on Route 10 in the heart of the Chinese Australia district of Bozeman. We're on the corner of Wang and Wallaby. Kudos to our great parade sponsors. And, of course, the parade could not be possible without Salmonella's Fine Italian Dining, where every Friday is free entree night. If you could guess what you're eating, is free. And, of course, we've got to introduce our great panel that's here for this parade. Shema Tobin on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia, of course. Jennifer Bordy is in the house. And Harry Kirschenbaum, my old pal from Open Range, is here. And Harry, how you doing?
Oh, I'm just doing great.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And
I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening.
yeah, I know.
It's been a few years since Open Range.
It is tough, isn't it? All right. Well, we've got a great crowd on hand out here, as you can hear.
Nothing
a lot
quite
of people
like
here.
the 4th of July crowd, I got to tell you.
Yeah,
Everybody's
nothing like it,
always
yeah.
so excited to celebrate
That's right.
our
Hey,
becoming a nation.
yeah. Don't forget, you can pick up a barbecued snow cone down at the great
Yum.
things we got there. Yummy. Those things are great. And this is working out pretty well. So, and of course, Shane, how you feeling here with the 4th of July parade there, man? Oh, I got to turn
Harry,
him up.
welcome to the house, Harry.
Yeah, you can tell Harry welcome again because he didn't hear you.
I said, welcome into the house, Harry. It's good to have you here and back.
It's good to see you again, Shane, and happy belated Canada Day.
Yeah, there you are. Yeah.
Very kind of you. Thank you, sir.
It's the 4th of July here in the United States, and have a good day at work, Canada.
Yeah.
It's the 4th of July in Canada, too. It's just not a holiday.
Yeah. What day is it in Canada?
Yeah. Well, Harry's on the metric calendar. It's March 2nd.
Yeah,
Well, one thing I want to
it's 3.7 today. You know, it's, July 3.7. You know, 30% discount.
There you are. Yeah, that would be it. Okay. Well, we got the horses are coming. We've got the training guys out there. So we got the guys are going to do the flag thing and the honor guard and all of that. So we're getting ready.
Always a great way to start a parade.
We're getting pretty ready to go here as soon as those guys get in here, and so.
Well, one thing is we're not anticipating the Republican floats we thought we'd have because they all went to D.C. to be in the military parade.
Well, I don't know. As I told Shane, the bands that couldn't make it in our parade are at D.C. right now.
I heard that. Yep.
That weren't.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bozeman or the Butte Half and the Bagpipe Band, won't. They'll be here, of course, and of course the Belgrade Mime Band.
Oh, they're my favorite. They are my favorite.
Any tanks in the parade,
I
Harry?
could listen to
No
those
tanks.
guys
No
forever.
tanks. Yeah, Jennifer just walked on your line. So
Sorry.
that's okay.
That's okay. We're just having too much fun here. But I do hear,
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that we're going to see a lot of there's thousands of them, the Democratic 2020 hopefuls.
Oh, really? The spouses, huh?
I heard they're having trouble finding a float large enough to carry them all.
Oh my goodness, it's one of those low boys that usually carries construction material.
I see.
There's just so many of them.
Yep. Although I also heard they pushed a few off, including our own Governor Steve Bullock. So
Well, yeah, but the Democratic float today is made up of Congress because all the Democratic hopefuls are in Iowa. But around the corner is coming the KFC float. But
Wait. We don't have floats yet.
Oh, I thought we did.
No, we
I
got.
thought the military band went by.
We're just talking about
we're still doing the band. We're still introducing the thing. Calm down.
Right, I'm excited.
Well, I know you are.
I got some really good news on this KFC float.
Okay, well, that'll work. Yeah.
Hey, while we're waiting for them to get underway, I have a kind of a public service message.
Oh, go for it.
Any
Yeah.
little kids and children that are listening this morning.
Yeah.
Fireworks are dangerous, kids.
They are?
Stay away from them. It's great to watch, but let the adults who have been drinking all day deal with the fireworks.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good advice. Absolutely right. So.
I just want you to know that last night when I set off all my fireworks, who, by the way, I got from Clintfield,
Clint's fireworks.
The name's escaping me. I'm sorry to
Clintfield,
say.
yeah.
But anyway, in Belgrade, in front of Wayland Tire. But I only almost burned the house down once. Just once. That's it.
I've been through that. It's not fun.
You couldn't do that? Okay.
No.
But it is fun to see everybody run to stamp out that fire.
Right.
Tonight's the night I set up a couple of hoses just in case.
Okay.
I had the hose going, but it wasn't anywhere near where the fire was.
Okay. All right, Shane, now you can have your KFC float coming down the
it's
boulevard.
coming around the corner. It's a pretty sizable float. I mean, it's got Pelosi, the mother hen, sitting on she's sitting on a nest of eggs, because this is great. And look at this. Oh, there's a big bucket of KFC full of. It's a Senate bucket full of the 45 names of the senators running for re-election or in the House, and then there's a House bucket with the 236 names of the House members of the Democratic Party. And oh my goodness, look, Larry Nadler from New York is Chubby Chicken, and Shifty Ship from California is Chicken Little, and he's dancing around with a sparkler. So there you go, KFC float.
There you are. All right, sounds like a good deal. So. Well, we also have the float of those not running for the Democratic nomination for president.
Is there anybody on it?
Well,
both of them.
Yeah, there are a few people on the float. Those not running for the Democratic nomination for president are Jimmy Carter's there, Michael Dukakis is there, Walter Mondale is on there, Al Gore. John Kerry's there. Hillary, Roger, and Chelsea Clinton are there. so those are all the folks not running for the Democratic nomination for president. So
and listen to that crowd roar.
The crowd roars. You're right. Yeah.
But they're all look at this. They're all throwing free candy to the crowd.
Of course they are. Yeah.
There is also one Republican. Oh wait, no, he just declared himself independent. But Representative Justin Amash from Florida, the only one who's been calling for Trump's impeachment, declared himself independent. So he is here today. He's lonely. He's the only one on his float.
Actually, there's two people on that float of the Democrats not running for president that are actually running for president. Marianne Williamson and John Delaney.
Right, yeah.
Who?
They just got confused and got on the wrong float.
Who? Oh, look what's coming down the road. Our own governor of the Steve Bullock for 2020 float.
Yes.
Pulled by a sorry-looking donkey.
I thought maybe it was pulled by the late-night Stephen Colbert.
Oh, yeah. Well, talk about a jackass.
Or Jane Fonda.
Right, yeah. Well, before we go to a break here, I've got to mention our great sponsors, Rotary Phone, the only cell phone with a rotary dial, old-fashioned convenience and cutting-edge technology. And, of course, we're brought to you by Sofa King, where the prices are, well, you know what the prices are, and you know how friendly the staff is at Sofa King. And by Wingnut, Bozeman's only acupuncturist mechanic. Let Wing stick it to your car. And there you are. We appreciate those guys very much and, of course, Salmonella's Fine Italian Dining, where every Friday is the free night. If you can guess what you're eating, it's free. So there you are. So, all right, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back right after these important words. So hang on. And we are back at the extravaganza, the 4th of July parade here in Bozeman, Montana on Route 10.
A quick shout out to the great job that's being done by the Sheriff's Department and the Bozeman Belgrade Police. They're confiscating people that brought milkshakes.
Okay.
Actually, they're escorting those masked folks away from the parade route.
Okay.
Step away from the parade.
That's right.
And almost as if on cue, the next float we have is the city and county commissioners. Oh, wait a minute. I thought they were on the same float. Apparently, they couldn't agree. So they're on floats one right after the other.
Okay. There you go.
Those commissioners.
Let's hear it for the city commissioners.
Right. Shane, what's our next float, Shane?
Hello, Canada. Earth to Canada.
No. It's an illegal immigrants float, and they're all carrying signs. Thanks for the right to vote. Thanks for free med. Thanks for free education, and thanks for free driver's license. Wow, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the free Dumb float.
Yeah, the freedom float. All right. Well, our next float is the longest float in the parade. It's over a mile long, and it is the easily offended float.
Gosh. It's only a mile long?
Only on board of the easily offended float, the college snowflakes with crippling student debt, poor job prospects, and underappreciated. Antifa is there, the mayors of sanctuary cities, people who don't want their kids called he or she, all of the fake news networks, climate change fanatics, tax cuts for the rich folks, open border crowd, pronoun people, the Civil War statue folks, the everybody gets a trophy group, and that's just the first quarter mile. The other 3/4 of the float is comprised of those who think Trump was not legitimately elected. So,
but at least he has a birth certificate.
At least he has that. Yeah. All right. So, all right. Let's see, from our text line. Look, a baby Trump balloon was spotted at Wilson and Maine. No taxpayer dollars spent on it. Well, the parade's not at Wilson and Maine, so nobody's seeing it there. So, I guess we can tell you about that. So,
I'm so darn proud to be here on the 4th. This is a great day. It's the day all the anti-gun people can celebrate a day won by armed citizens.
Yeah, there you are. That will work. Absolutely right. Let's see. Daniel R. Peterson should be the parade marshal from our text line. And the city commission needs to approve a glass box on the top of the tallest Bozeman metropolitan building so they can have a bird's eye view seat of the parade. So they need to be on top of Salmonella's is where they need to be. And how about
it's got to be glass because it's got to be bulletproof.
That's right. How about the Fukushima float? All the plants are fried, but nice people sure have a glow to them. Okay.
And behind them is the Iranian balloon. Oh, it looks like, it is. It's shaped in, it's a mushroom cloud. And it's floating over a tanker on fire.
And to honor America, here comes the 50th anniversary Apollo 11 float.
All right. 50th anniversary of the Apollo disaster. Or not that disaster, I guess the landing disaster.
No, that was the one that landed.
Okay.
That was the first one that landed on the moon, Tom.
Oh, okay. All right, I got you.
All right. Followed by the 50th anniversary Woodstock float. Look at those old hippies.
And they're gathered together yet again.
Yeah, the gathering of the Klan.
And it looks like they're all smoking pot, guys.
Well, nowadays that's social.
They thought they were in Colorado or Washington.
Washington, yeah. There's heard Colorado has a marijuana shortage. Isn't that a shame? They need a trade deal with Colombia or something.
Well, in light of them wrapping up their term last week, we have a float with all of the United States Supreme Court justices, and the liberals are on one side and the conservatives are another. But wait, a couple of them are going back and forth in between. Oh my gosh, they can't make up their mind where to sit.
Yeah, well, they're going to have their work cut out for them in the next session. Various federal judges around the country they're making some weird decisions concerning the border wall, concerning immigration detention. This is going to have to go to the Supremes.
We'll see. Sometimes they turn those away, though, just for the fun of it, I think.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder where these judges, what part of the Constitution they're basing these rulings on. But, ruling from the bench.
A 4th of July fun fact, according to author Kenneth C. Davis, July 2nd is the real day of the date of independence, but it's celebrated on the 4th because that's when Congress accepted Congress Declaration, and Jefferson was running all over town getting people to sign it before they left on the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
So that was a...
Oh, the flights out of Washington in those days. That Washington to Philadelphia shuttle in 1776.
Will
had 4 legs.
From our text line, will your parade have brand new Sherman tanks? Absolutely. Our parade can have anything it wants. So,
that's right.
Even though they were stopped making them back in 72 or 45 or whatever,
but
we've got brand new ones.
But yes, we have no tanks.
Yeah, no tanks.
No tanks. They're all in Washington.
All right. Oh, okay. I can't say that one on the air.
No, you can tell us it during a break.
From the text line. Yeah.
But the crowd is going wild over it.
Yeah.
Here comes the Canadian float around the corner, guys.
All right.
Oh my God! It's a giant-sized certified check for $60 million for Montana counties. Yeah, baby.
for the XL Keystone Pipeline.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. The DNC float will be tossing out Tide balls wrapped in a $100 bill and a diploma for the children.
Free.
That's right. What about an AOC float celebrating the GND? Oh, darn, I suppose the float runs on gas, so unless it's pulled by chickens, it won't work. So, there we go. All right. Oh, I got to watch my time here for the stuff coming up. So. Bottom of the hour coming up. So yeah.
I see we also have a float of the summer road construction crews, and oh my gosh, they're jumping off and they're blocking the road. They're
blocking the parade route now.
And not even doing any work. They just love to set up those signs, don't they?
Geez, you can't get anywhere in Bozeman without hitting the can't go this way, can't go that way. Mm-hmm. You get to do a lot of sightseeing.
That's right.
Yes,
yeah.
Except when you're on your way to the hospital and you can't get there because of road construction.
Yeah, that was great planning, closing both roads to the hospital.
There you are. Another little-known July 4th fact, Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence on a laptop, which was a writing desk that could fit on one's lap. So there you are. So
the first laptop.
Little-known fact about Thomas Jefferson. And Thomas Jefferson changed the wording of the Declaration of Independence from the pursuit of property to the pursuit of happiness.
And ain't we happy?
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
That is a little-known fact.
That is a little-known fact.
But he should have said you're responsible for your own happiness.
That's right.
You can't count on the government to make you happy.
That's why you can pursue it, because you're responsible for your own.
You can pursue happiness.
All right.
It's not given to you.
All right, guys, what parade would be complete without the Butte Half in the Bagpipe Band?
No parade would be complete without it.
Here they come.
A little off key this year.
Yes, they are a treasure. Every year we have the Butte Half in the Bagpipe Band, and as they filter past us, every note a pearl of musical accomplishment for the Butte Bagpipe Band. We thank them very much for showing up, of course, every year, as they do.
All I can say to the folks out there is may the 4th be with you.
Tom, the Declaration was signed on the 2nd. Yeah, that's what I just said, I think.
But Congress didn't agree to the
till later on, yeah.
You know, if it was today, it would take a year for Congress to work out a compromise that included a road to nowhere somewhere out in West Dakota.
Well, I was going to say, if it was just a matter of signing, they could do it much faster today with electronic signatures.
Well, that's true as well.
It would look as pretty at the bottom of the Constitution.
Yeah. I mean, pretty soon they won't even have to go back and forth.
Or the Declaration, I mean, sorry.
Yeah.
Wouldn't look as pretty at the bottom.
Whatever it is.
Congressmen can work from home.
All right. Well, we're getting down to the bottom of the hour here, folks. We got about 3 minutes left. So, what's our next float, Shane? Nope.
Earth to Canada.
I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to turn Shane up. Sorry, Shane. I know you're there.
We're probably missing the best pearls of wisdom.
Well, I'm trying to keep track of all the parade sounds and everything. So, sorry, Shane. Go for it.
I just want to thank our sponsor, Lost Pizza Parlor, who's delivered by Uber.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Let's see. Another fun fact, only 2 men signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, John Hancock and Charles Thompson.
That's correct.
So there you go.
It was the Dunlop broadside.
Yeah.
The Goodart broadside was printed in 1877.
Wonder why they call it a broadside.
That's good.
Well, why did they? I mean, what did broadside have to do with anything?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, it seems like a dumb name to me.
It was the printer. That's why.
Oh, the printer. Okay, it was a broadside printer. Okay, there we go. All right. Let's see. Jefferson's original draft of the Declaration of Independence was lost, and the one eventually signed is the engrossed document.
The what document?
Engrossed document.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either. It's engrossed. Well, why did they call it the broadside? Come on. Give me a break here.
You got me.
I just read it. I don't interpret it. So, yeah. So anyway. Yeah, the printed version of the Declaration was called the Dunlap Broadside. 200 were made, but only 27 are accounted for.
Oh, that's the name of the printer that it was printed on.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So there you are.
Dunlop was in 1777 and had all the signatures on it.
There you are. So that would be the...
It was run off on one of those early IBM machines.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway. All right.
So did the signers sign all 200 copies, or...
I don't know. Shane, do they sit down and sign all 200? I guess they would have had to, wouldn't they?
No, they printed them. But on July 2nd, 2009, the 26th Dunlop broadside was discovered in the National Archives in New England.
Wow. There you go. All right, we've got to duck out of here. We got to pay some bills and stuff, so we'll be right back with more exciting stuff right after these important words. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the 882nd 4th of July parade here in Bozeman. Harry Kirschenbaum is with me. Jennifer Bordy. Shane Taubman is turned up and on the line. And we are happy to be here with you guys, and it's a beautiful day here. And the crowd is ready to go. So, guys, let's see here. We've got the from our text line. We got the property tax float where your alleged property is worth $1 million, but you only have beer pocket money to pay for it.
You know, with the latest reassessment that all of us property owners just received, obviously it's no news to everyone. Everyone's property went up at least about 25%. But I was talking the other day to the homeless guy who lives behind Walmart in the refrigerator box. His property was assessed at $320,000.
All right. Sounds good.
He's gonna have to move his refrigerator box to Belgrade.
Yeah, right.
That really should have been a balloon anyway. Everything's so inflated.
Yeah, right. Yeah, should have been a balloon. There, you're right about that. So let's see some more facts of whatever, if I can find my facts here. Where are my facts?
Just the facts, Tom.
Well,
is that all you can't find?
That's all I can't find. Yeah.
I have a great fact. Norman Lear bought a Declaration of Independence found in the back of a picture frame and bought it at a yard sale for $4 at Adamstown, Pennsylvania flea market. And he put a group of people together to buy it for $2.42 million on June 4th, 1991. Then they sold it in 2000 for $8.14 million.
Wow, there you go.
Now, only in America, okay? Only in America.
That just goes to show you gotta hit those yard sales.
I better check the attic when I get home.
Right? Yeah. There you are.
Oh, look! Here comes the Trump Derangement Syndrome float with special guest Robert De Niro.
All right.
And if you look closely, there's a pharmacy counter on it.
Yeah.
And the Democrats are all lining up to take Ambien.
And they're all singing, when you're happy and you know it, take your meds.
Yes.
And they
Thank
got
you, Harry.
And Gennaro's punching one of those balloon or one of those things that go down and come back up. You know? One of those balloon
Punching
things.
bag.
Yeah, one of those punching
Hey,
things.
Shane, how's your buddy, Baby Doc Trudeau?
Yeah, he's just doing really well, choking on every foot in his mouth.
Oh, look, coming up next is Bozeman's very own Street Pride Parade float.
All right. We like that.
Yeah, they're really running into some problems organizing that in Bozeman. They're getting a lot of death threats. But whatever happened to equal rights?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, that's what the sign says. We still don't have equal rights.
Yeah.
And behind it is a group of women, the Trumpettes. They're all carrying umbrellas, red, white, and blue, of course.
Make America great again.
There you
umbrellas.
Go. Another fun fact, Congress declared July 4th as an official holiday in 1870 as part of a bill to officially recognize other holidays, Christmas being one of them. So there you are.
Well, for first-time entry, haven't had them participate in our parades before. The Yellowstone Club put together a float.
Oh.
And you know how the city commissioners won't let you throw candy out in the crowd anymore? They're throwing out little liquor bottles, apparently trying to hide them from the Department of Revenue. So.
All right.
I see the homeless people running.
All right.
Well, all that liquor that was confiscated, I understand, at the Yellowstone Club was sent down to the detention centers down on the border.
Yeah.
And I think AOC had a couple of nips before she made her comments about the conditions there, which are...
that may be. Yeah.
I mean, it's a terrible situation, but, they're not concentration camps. Oh, look, here comes... This is new in Bozeman. The North Korean Tourist Bureau has a float this year, and their theme is... Visit North Korea, we're safer than the Dominican Republic.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, and so people are finally jumping on that float because it was pretty empty a minute ago.
It was. All right.
Nobody's defecting to North Korea, I'll say.
All right, we've got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more of our fabulous parade right after this. So stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are happy to be here at the 882nd 4th of July Parade. Jennifer Bordy's in the house. Shane Matabin on the line. Harry Kirschenbaum, my old partner from Open Range Days, and Tommy Galoff, your morning mayor. And, pretty exciting. Shane, there's another float coming down?
Yeah, it looks like, it's red, white, and blue. Oh, that's the Russian flag. Yeah, and Putin's on the front of it making a speech saying, I wanted Hillary.
Is he shirtless? That float hasn't reached me yet. Is Putin topless again?
We do really have an international parade this year.
We do.
We had the North Koreans and now the Russian float.
Russians. We
the
got
only other
here.
ones on the float with Putin are the non-indicted Russians.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The unindicted Russians.
Well, let's take a phone call. We obviously got some people calling in from the parade, so let's go to the phones. Caller, where are you sitting? Wave to us if you can see us.
Well, this must be Tom.
That's it.
Hello, Harry.
Hello, old timer. How are you doing, Clint?
Well, I'm doing pretty darn good. And Jennifer, how are you this morning?
Good, Clint. How are you? Happy 4th.
Well, happy 4th to all of us. I got to tell you a story about Trump and the Blue Angels and myself and the Blue Angels. You want a little story?
Sure, go for it.
Well, my flight instructor, when I was learning how to fly, sent me to Butte on a short cross country. And I was in a little 11AC Aronca Chief airplane, a side-by-side, and a 65 horsepower. And so what I did is I landed in Butte, and guess what was there? The Blue Angels.
Oh.
And here I am in a 1948 Aronca Chief tail-dragger airplane, and I'm taxiing up to fill her up with fuel and one thing another and get my logbook signed. And here come the Blue Angels over. They had to look at this old airplane of mine. And that was the story. That's a true story. I thought I'd tell you that.
All right,
and
good deal.
And I think what Trump's doing, I think it's good for America. That's my personal personal feelings about it. And I think that we should show a little more of our what our tax money is going for. You know, our tax money buys all this stuff, and I think it's nice that he's having the flyovers and whatever. I think it's good, and that's all I got to say.
All right, man. Thanks for the call.
You betcha. Bye.
I appreciate it. All right. Yeah.
Well,
we should try to get a little bit more of an aerial show for the next parade.
We should do that. Yeah. We should have drones. The city's going to buy one. So
yeah, there you go.
How many drones will fit in a Bearcat, do you think?
I don't know, but I think it is a good idea.
Yeah.
That Big Brother can watch us. You know, there's an ordinance.
I'll stay outside the city limits.
There's an ordinance in Bozeman that your fireworks should not be going up more than, 20 or 30 feet?
Something like that. Yeah.
Tell that to the people last night that I could see from my window.
I know.
I mean, some of these fireworks, it looks like they're about to enter low Earth orbit.
Another 4th of July fact. Several countries have used the Declaration of Independence as a beacon for their own struggle for freedom. These countries include France, Greece, Poland, Russia, and many countries in South America. So there you are. They've kind of patterned their independence after us. So.
Oh, here, look at this. There's another person here in Bozeman. The state of California has a float. Their theme this year is Make America Bizarre Again.
Okay.
and the Chinese float is coming around the corner, and it looks like President Xi he's also at the podium, and I can't quite understand, the Chinese. Oh, we know nothing about you that you don't want to know about yourself. Weibo. Oh, P.S. Our stuff's still cheap.
All right. Wow.
Your understanding of Cantonese is great, Shane.
He is a good guy. Yeah, he knows his stuff. So
truly international flavor to this year's parade.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, another 4th of July fact. Yankee Doodle, a popular American patriotic song, was originally sung prior to the Revolution by British military officers in mockery of the unorganized and buckskin-wearing Yankees.
Yankee
Doodle Dandy.
That'll teach those Red Coats.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only army in history that invades a country and the men are walking around with red uniforms and white crosses on the front and the back to shoot at.
Yeah. Wait a minute. And they were marching They were marching in straight lines as well.
Right, yeah.
Giving the American patriots easy to pickings.
There you are.
And they said they wore red uniforms so they couldn't see themselves bleed. Wow.
Let's not make fun of the British. I mean, we've kissed and made up and saved their tail.
There you are, yeah. Let's see, we've got the NRA float.
Oh, yeah, the NRA float. You get a bang out of this one. Honoring our Second Amendment.
Oops, there go a couple of the parade people watching the parade.
Sounds more like a parade in Beirut.
All right. We like that.
Oh, and this isn't, I don't know how to classify this, whether it's a float or not. It looks like a chariot being drawn by a donkey. Is that Spartacus? Is that Cory Booker?
Maybe.
A one-man chariot float.
Oh, all right.
Yo, Spartacus. Iowa's the other way, buddy.
There you are. Another 4th of July fact. Star Spangled Banner, written by Francis Scott Key, was originally a poem stemming from his observation in 1814 concerning the British attack on Baltimore Fort Henry during the War of 1812. It was later put to music, though not decreed the official national anthem until 1931.
I think that's 1931 is when someone actually figured out how to sing it.
Yeah.
Without making a fool of themselves.
Yeah, it's not an easy song to sing.
No.
I don't know, Harry, if you remember when we were doing open range and we were doing parades, we had I found a cop on YouTube that did a horrible version of the national anthem, and boy, the people called in and got on me about having this bad rendition of the Star Spangled Banner being disrespectful, and they were going crazy. So we haven't done it since. So anyway, but it was funny. I mean, he was trying to figure out the words and the tune, and it was really funny.
I've heard good and bad, but it's still our national anthem.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But there are.
Oh my gosh! Here comes Nike's float. It's coming down. What do I see? Oh, Colin Kaepernick. He's in a big chair with his feet up, barefoot. Oh my goodness! How wonderful is that?
Yeah, there you are.
Hey, I scored a pair of those sneakers before Nike pulled them off the shelves.
All right.
Known as the Betsy Ross sneakers.
Yeah.
I'll put them on eBay tonight for about $14 million.
Yeah.
But they look great. My red MAGA hat.
You're styling as usual.
I'm
right?
just patriotic, just feeling all patriotic today.
Yeah. Well, as Shane pointed out earlier, another 4th of July fact, including John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, a total of 3 presidents have died on July 4th. James Monroe is the 3rd president to share that fate. So there you go. So
that's pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Yes, Thomas Jefferson and Adams both died on July 4th, 1826, 50 years anniversary of the signing.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were just babes in the woods at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And conversely, America's 30th president, Calvin Coolidge, Silent Cal, was born on July 4th, 1872.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, before it was really a holiday. Oh, 1872. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's 1772. Okay, I'm not awake yet.
Born on the 4th of July. They made a movie out of that.
Yeah, that should be a song or something. Yeah.
Didn't you have to memorize your presidents in grade school? I had to memorize the presidents in grade school.
That's right, yeah. Well, in 1776, about 2.5 million people lived in the United States versus 320 million today. So just to put that in perspective of how many people we have running around here.
Actually, we'll never know how many people are running around between our borders. Because
actually, we're going to know next year because we don't have the citizenship question on the census, so everybody will return it.
That's true. All right, we've got to take a break. We got to get the Rush update in here, so we'll be back right after that. So here's Rush. Welcome back, everyone. It is 4 minutes before the top of the hour, and we're winding down the parade here with Harry Kirschenbaum and Jennifer Bordy. Shane Matobin on the line, and Shane has a float.
Hello, Canada.
Hello. It's shaped in like a water bottle. It's Maxine Waters. Look at that. She's promoting bottled water for immigrants at the border. Oh, look! A gust of wind just came up and blew her wig off.
Well, the average age of those who signed the Declaration of Independence was 45. The youngest was 27, and was Thomas Lynch Jr. of South Carolina. And the oldest delegate was Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania at age 70, and Thomas Jefferson was 33.
The youngest.
The youngest, yeah. Thank you for being live today and sharing the parade with us. Miss Open Range, great to hear Harry again. Happy Independence Day. All right, there you go.
Well, thanks for getting me out of the old folks' home.
I know, yeah. I had to go down and
wheel him out.
Yeah, we had to put a ramp in for Harry to get in here.
It was a course to get him out of the gurney, but
let me give our listeners some just parting advice. If you want to have fun on the 4th, you should have bought a 5th on the 3rd.
That's right.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the answer. That's for sure.
Seriously, Don't drink and drive, or ever, please.
Yeah.
Be safe, everyone.
Yeah, that was a book I couldn't get published, How to Drink and Drive. But, I don't know, it didn't work.
Got rejected by the publisher.
It did, yeah. The publisher said, I don't know if I can sell that or not. So.
I bet you could. Every time I ever talked to a high school class, all they wanted to know is how to get out of MIP.
Yeah, it was like my liposuction reversal clinic that didn't work. Or my cat hairball medicine, catatonic. None of those worked.
By the way, did you copyright that? Because that may come back.
Yeah, I know.
Catatonic.
Well, our parade is winding up. I think I see the last one's coming down the road there.
Yep. It was a great one.
It was.
A pretty good parade.
I hope the weather's good. I hope your barbecues, backyard barbecues and neighborhood fireworks things are safe.
Right. Hey, and don't forget to mark down the 26th of July. Harry and I.
Where are we going?
You revert back to open range pretty quickly, don't we?
Yeah.
Shane and I will be live at the Grand Tree, 6 p.m. on the 26th of July. 6 o'clock, an evening with Tom and Shane.
Oh.
So you need to come, and both of you need to show up and meet the listeners and just kind of hang around, and we're going to... July 26th, we're going to have a high old time there, so mark that down at the Grand Tree. We'll be in the highlight room on the back side where the convention center is there. So.
Will Shane physically be here?
Shane will physically be here.
Cool.
Oh,
wow.
You got your passport approved, huh?
Yeah, he's got his passport approved and everything. All right. Well, I got to say thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shane. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And, boy, I don't know if we got time for a call real quick, but call you on the air real quick.
Well, happy 4th of July.
Well, thank you.
This is Judy.
Hey, Judy.
And thank you for all the things you do for us.
Oh, I appreciate that very much. Well, thank you.
It was really, really fun.
Well, good.
You today.
All right.
Just like the old times.
There you are. Hey, we try and bring it back if we can. Hey, we appreciate it.
We loved Open Range also.
Yeah.
And thank you to Shane. He's always fun to have on.
All right, gotta go. Thank you.
Very much.
All right, say goodbye, Shane.
Bye, Mayor. Come on, gang. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Be happy and be safe.
All right.